Hey everybody. I just wanted to take a minute or two today to talk a little bit about the National Geographic app for the iPad. It's been getting a lot of negative reviews and there's a lot of misconceptions out there, and so I just wanted to explain a little bit about what it is, what it can do, and what it can't do. Now, before you can understand what it's good for, let's talk about what it isn't. What it's not is Google Earth, and it's not going to replace that. It does have a use for Bing Maps, but it's not really something you're going to be using for. It's not going to replace even the Maps feature on your iPad. What it is good for, though, is viewing maps in a classical sense, paper maps, the types that you see on your geography walls in high school. So, before I get into this demonstration, I'll tell you that I just tested my download speed, and I have absolutely terrible internet at home. And it was coming in at about 589 kilobytes a second, so very slow download speeds. So any lag that you see here, if you have a Wi-Fi connection, it's probably going to be better than that. Alright, so let's go ahead and open up the app itself. You can see it loads pretty quickly in a similar fashion to the Maps application with the cubic fill-in. And I'll just pick DRC in Africa to go ahead and zoom in on. And it will refresh like this when you zoom in. And then once you get to a certain level, it will switch to the more detailed map. You can see it did it right there. And from there you can zoom in quite a bit. And if you continue to do this, there will come a point where it defaults onto the Bing Maps or the Road Maps application, which is a little frustrating, but I think it's something that they're probably going to change in the first update. And here's some of the, and here you see it switching to the Road Maps and the Bing Maps, which I'm not a big fan of because, as I said, it's not going to replace even the Maps feature on your iPad. So we'll zoom out just a little bit. And we'll go ahead and switch to the executive map and zoom back out to a world view. Now this is the exact same image that you would get if you order a National Geographic map. I actually have several of these at work, and everything, even the borders, it's all exactly the same as what you get. Up in the upper left-hand corner, you have the Nations button. So if we tap that, you can scroll through all the countries. I'll go ahead and pick N for Namibia because that's where I'll be traveling in about a week. And as you can see, it will gray out the area that's not selected, and then you can look at the flag and you can get some statistics on all these countries. It's not as good as the World Factbook that you can get for the iPad for, I think, $1.99, but it does help. It has a lot of information, and unless you're going to be putting together some geography tests, this is probably going to be enough. So we can get out of that. Also, to prevent a little bit of the lag time and the load problems with the maps, if you go to the map library, you can download any of the continent maps right here. I have the Africa continent map downloaded, but you can get all the continent maps, both political and executive. So I hope that helped you understand a little bit more about what you can expect if you get the National Geographic iPad app. It's a dream. I love it. As I mentioned, I have these maps for real, and having them on my iPad at my fingertips whenever I want, and the ability to download them so I can view them without the Wi-Fi connection has been great. So I really encourage you to buy it. It's only a couple bucks, and it's well worth it.